Welcome to this presentation. My name is Steve Bartlett. I'm a technical marketing engineer supporting CX switching, and this presentation is all around the 6200 enhancements as part of the new release of AOS-CX 10.09. There's only two new features as part of the 10.09 release, Layer 3 aggregation groups and IP-directed broadcast. So let's go straight into the first topic, Layer 3 aggregation groups. Layer 3 aggregation groups. This is part of the ongoing feature parity enhancement for the 6200 relative to the AOS 2930 series switches. So Layer 3 aggregation groups. This feature, of course, has been supported on other AOS-CX platforms for a long while. So now it's in the 6200 as part of the 10.09 release. As you can see, it's a very simple configuration involving the IP addressing, whether we're using IPv6 or using IPv4, and they obviously can be both configured under the same lag interface. I've got two separate interfaces for lags here, 199 and 198, but we could incorporate IPv4 and IPv6 addressing on the same lag. And that was all for the Layer 3 lag enhancements. Now on to IP-directed broadcasts. Again, this is a feature parity enhancement for the 6200 relative to other CX switching that operates at Layer 3 and, of course, relative to the AOS 2930 series. So let's have a quick look at what IP-directed broadcasts are. A quick overview. So there are two types of broadcasts. We certainly should be familiar with the first one, the local network IP broadcast of 255, 255, 255, 255. And this is used to reach all devices at the IP layer within a subnet. And there is also a subnet broadcast address to send broadcasts to hosts in a target subnet across a Layer 3 boundary. So by default, subnet broadcasts are dropped. Routers drop IP broadcasts, as we know, and do not forward them unless, in this case, the specific IP-directed broadcast feature is enabled. IP-directed broadcasts are sent over the network in the same way as a unicast IP packet until they reach the destination subnet. When they reach the destination subnet, and if we have IP-directed broadcasts enabled on the receiving switch, the switch translates the IP-directed broadcast packet into a broadcast packet, and that broadcast packet is then transmitted onto the target subnet. So this feature is now supported on the 6200. It has been available on other CX platforms that support Layer 3 routing. Thus, we have support now for router-only ports, switch virtual interfaces, Layer 3 lags for both primary and secondary addressing for this feature. Configuration of the IP-directed broadcast feature is required at both the source and the destination subnets, so do be mindful of that. In addition, access lists can be applied inbound and outbound to restrict specific broadcast traffic. So more detail on this can be found in the AOS-CX configuration guide for the 6200 series. That's all I had for this topic. Thank you for watching.